fight, you belong in a sweatshop. So go ahead, make my kitty litter, make my Confucius kebab, make my YouTube, make my vacuum cleaners, make my steamboat, make my poison spit, make my second-hand push, make my chocolate syrup, make my supercomputers, make my resplendent medallion, make my muffle, make my mitten, make my happy dagger, make my paper bag, make my hemlock sip, make my make my steaks and souffle, make my safety switch, make my cowskin shield, make my comic books, make my pants, make my
time traveling morning after pill,
make my pasta, make my laser grid, make my guns, make my houses, make my sofa, make my paper clips, make my make my box hat, make my hammer, make my liquor, make my beef fry, make my $3 billion dream machine, make my brother pig show, make my dildo, make my toga, make my bloodsucker, make my math and accurate charge, make my drone, make my strings, make my fish puppets and muppets, make my Kashi, make my air guitar, make my fabulous shoe, make my romance sword, make my phone booth, make my jacket, make my western medicine, make my space helmet, make my Tylenol, make my favorite recipe, make my key, make my turtleneck, make my long sword, make my papa noodle, make my chip, make my potato section, make my rock, make my baboon, make my coffee, make my lifeboat, make my cold press juice, make my bowl, make my biography, make my projector, make my spores, make my TV, make my ingredients, make my wheat, make my furnace, make my cookies, make my motherfucking money, make my iPod.